Well, you crazy cats and kittens out there in pod person land, welcome back to another episode of Father Love of Movies. I'm your host, Sean Faw, and today we're going to be talking about The Conjuring 3. Yeah, the devil made me do it. Conjuring 3, devil made me do it. Yeah. So this one actually seems to be a slight improvement over the previous Conjuring-verse movies that I have seen. I mean, I'm not a big fan in general, and I haven't seen all of them, but this one was a little less ridiculous and a bit more engaging than the ones I did see. I mean, it's not a great movie, but I didn't hate it.
Hey! You okay there? Jesus. I think I hurt someone.
They claim this is a true story, and obviously elements of it are. There really was a murder and a trial, and they do play audio recording of the actual exorcism during the end credits. And as far as these movies go, this was the most believable Conjuring thing I think I have seen.
Residents of Brookfield were shocked this afternoon by the broad daylight murder of Bruno Sauls.
If you mentally swap the witchcraft in this thing for like everyday insanity or hallucinations, almost everything here actually does become pretty plausible.
The court accepts the existence of God every time a witness swears to tell the truth. I think it's about time they accept the existence of the devil.
Well, I'm not really sure if that's anything actual horror fans do care about, but I can appreciate it, certainly.
A master Satanist is not an adversary to be taken lightly.
Now, I do think it is possible to see this movie without seeing any of the other Conjuring movies, and it probably still holds up fairly well as a standalone movie. But there is a lot of backstory you will miss, and a number of assumptions they make about the audience that, if you haven't seen the others, may just wash past you. There is almost like a jazz-like quality to the shorthand developed here, where the filmmakers give you the setup, and the actual exploration of the idea or movement is just kind of jumped over, and they cut straight to the punchline or the reaction.
I'm only interested in reality.
But I can see things that your people can't.
It seems like they're just kind of expecting the audience to fill in the gaps with knowledge from previous movies, and actually there's some of the best movie moments in the movie. It's sort of a shared memory that the whole audience can get on board with at the same time, and it's kind of a nice touch that really helps to make this a cohesive world across a number of films.
Something terrible happened here.
And the acting was all serviceable with no real standouts, but in a good way. Usually in these type of low-budget studio horror movies, there's at least one actor, like if not most of them, that is just ridiculous and cartoonish. But here they all seem to keep it together pretty well. And even in the moments that were otherworldly, these characters mostly seem to be reacting like real humans.
Whatever is going on, whatever happened that day, that was not Arnie.
But my biggest gripe with this movie, though, and really with the series as a whole, is just kind of the entire visual aesthetic they have created. I mean, I'm willing to look past that dusty color grade as it's trying to emulate the dingy burnt orange and green feel of the late 70s. And although I really despise it stylistically, and the memories of shag carpet and paisley wallpaper just kind of make my skin crawl, I can forgive it, as it is fairly accurate and really kind of adds to that general sense of unease throughout these films.
It's a witch's totem. We think your family was cursed. And that connection's still open.
What I really can't forgive, though, is just the general lack of lighting on so much of the screen time of really most of these movies. So much of this thing is just hidden in darkness without even like a backlight to give you any sort of shape to things. I get that it's a horror movie and it's supposed to be dark and scary, but when it's so dark that you can't even make out the outline of the monster you are supposed to be afraid of, it just kind of takes away all of its power.
Lorraine, you need to come back. Is saving him worth everything you have? Because that's what it may very well cost.
I mean, there's a scene in the first act where the kid is just hiding in a bathtub, and we're supposed to be really freaked out when they show the creepy black monster hand coming over the top of the white shower curtain. But the problem is that due to the lack of lighting, the hand just kind of blends in with the black shower curtain rings, and it's just kind of surrounded by them, and you can't really make out any true distinction. I mean, it would seem, at least in my screening, that the audience didn't even react to what would have been a fairly intense moment if they really could have just only seen that there was a threat on screen to begin with. But by the time you can see it, the moment is really over, and it's just too late to be scared about it.
She's doing it again. She's reaching out to the darkness.
You can definitely show a monster too much, and that's probably an even worse sin. But second to that is just not showing enough of it to even be scared in the first place.
Lorraine!
So overall, though, I'd say this is decent for a low-budget, religion-based horror movie. It's certainly not as dumb and over the top as a lot of its peers, and there really are some solid moments and even a couple of decent laughs, which always just kind of goes a long way in my book. It's certainly not my favorite genre in general, and I'll probably never watch this thing again. But if you already know you like this stuff, you probably won't be disappointed with this one. So, anyways, this has been For the Love of Movies. I'm Sean Faw. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe and do all that stuff. Phone a friend, tell an enemy, share us, do things, leave a thing in the comments about, why I'm wrong and, why I don't understand anything that I'm talking about. Or just what you want me to talk about more. Yeah, anyways, guess that's enough. Bye. Later. Bye. Go away now.
This is Ed Warren, here with Lorraine. All right, let's get started.
Goddamn fucking birds.